Hey everybody, welcome to In the Mix of Chaos. This is Hector. Today it's kind of a special, we had a special segment where we were going to talk about Central Valley Meats and what was going down with the shutdown and that. I was supposed to have a person that I was going to interview. Unfortunately, he decided not to do the interview, but he did sit down and talk to us for a moment, which is understandable because he's still a current active employee of Central Valley Meats. But he did take the time to go ahead and talk to me, and what's interesting is we actually sat down together and watched the video and had him explain a little bit more what was going on in depth in that video and to better understand what's going on there at Central Valley Meat. So first of all, for people that don't know, Central Valley Meat was caught by the USDA for the inhumane killing of cattle. There was video footage of them standing on top of the nostrils and the mouth for suffocating them. They were shot more than one time with a pneumatic gun to bring them down. There was just a lot of stuff that was caught in this video that was then reported to the USDA, which then automatically shut down the plant to go back to compliant until the place would go back to being compliant. So that brought a lot of questions to me, and I was asking around, and some individual did want to talk to us about it, and so he did, and he brought in more of the reasons that goes on to those to the slaughter of cows. So the first thing that he did talk about was that all cows are not killed inhumane over there. What happens is sometimes these cows are moving around a lot, and so one time when you're trying to position the head for the kill shot with the pneumatic gun, sometimes it doesn't go as planned, and so you do have to do a second load or a second shot to go ahead and take the animal down. He says that this usually happens more often with bulls because bulls have a thicker skull than the normal cattle. And when we were talking about this, we were looking at the video, and the video shows a part where they shoot the cattle in the head, and it's still twitching and moving and almost trying to escape. And due to the part of editing too, what you don't see, and you only see a glitch, and it looks like a little glitch, like they're going to the next scene, is that the conveyor belt's actually getting reversed. And he says that sometimes happens where they shoot the animal and it doesn't go down, so they do reverse it and give it one more shot to certify and make sure that the animal is dead before it gets processed. He says that it happens about 1 in 10 cows will go through this, so meaning 1 cow out of 10 cows have to be hit more than once in the head. He also did explain to me that this is actually a new plant, and all these machineries is the new machineries for the process. Now, once again, he's not condoning anything. I mean, he was more shocked and he was upset when he saw when they were stepping on the cows' heads and stuff like that, and he himself never seen the process of what goes on before the cows are getting processed. So it was a little upsetting for him as well. But he gave us a better insight of what was going on there. He also says that when we saw in the video where they're hitting them inside it looks like they're hitting them inside a trailer, that those cows and you also see the downer cows that can barely move, that those really don't go through the production because they're getting led, and if they cannot walk that little narrow hallway to go into the killing floor, the cows slow down production, and they even know that it's not what they call downer cows is not consumable for human consumption because there could be something wrong with the cows. So his theory about that is that they're actually getting killed humanely there, or trying to kill them humanely, and the reason that they do this too is because they're going to get processed through Baker's Commodity, which is ones that do animal food and stuff like that, which is I think contracted with Central Valley Meats as well. So the bad cows or any cows that die during or waiting for production will go to Baker's Commodities. So some of these downer cows, I guess, get killed there before they get processed to Baker's Commodities. So what you see in there with the downer cows and that actually don't go into the production itself of the meat. He also explained that that a lot of it has to do with them being rushed. They said they process about 1,000 cows a day, and so they're always in the hurry about getting more and more cows in before the end of the shift. So they're always looking to get that 1,000 cow mark for the day. So he says a lot of people do get tired and frustrated and stuff like that, and a lot of the management and stuff try to push these employees by yelling and screaming and telling them to hurry up, and because it's all about the volume. And now with the USDA and everything else being there, he's assuming that the volume of that's probably going to go down to maybe 500 cows a day, and they're going to be more careful. They said that plan is about 2 months old, and they're barely getting used to the new machinery and everything else that goes into that new process, the new floor. Once again, he's not condoning what he saw. He knows that some things will be stopped, and some things could have been prevented from that happening. He also told me something interesting, because I talked to him about the USDA, because for people that don't know, the USDA actually do have offices there at Central Valley to make sure that these things don't happen. So I was asking him about what's the percentage that you see them walking around. Have you ever seen them? Would they know about this stuff? And he said that they usually stay in the office and really only step out like maybe once or twice out of the week to actually walk through the floor. So a lot of the stuff, sometimes they don't know what's happening because they're busy inside and are not really taking the time to focus on these scenes that we've seen on the tape. And he was just explaining that it is a very hard job, and it's not something that can be done without mistakes. Like he said, it's 1 in 10 cows, and the video made it seem a lot worse than what it is. And I don't think people understand. We see the process the only process we see is the food in the supermarket or what's given to us, and then what's prepared. We don't actually know what it takes to get that meat. And people don't want to know. People like to be ignorant about the whole process of the meat packaging and the meat production. I don't know what to say about it personally. I wanted to get his opinion on it. My opinion is that I personally put probably more blame towards the company itself and the owners and them for pushing the employees more. It sounds more like you're pushing them to a far extent where they feel like they have to produce, and so cruelties like this, where the suffocation and that will happen, and it's because the people want the volume and don't care about the quality of the employees that are working at this place. It's hard right now, especially I know with this economic times. People that have jobs cherish their jobs right now, and I think half of these people don't want to be killing cows, but this is what there is, and this is an opportunity to feed their family as well. So that's my thoughts about this. We talked about we had in-depth conversations about stuff like that, and basically it came down to better management and slowing down the production a little bit lesser, where things like this don't happen. It felt more gratifying knowing somebody who was in the inside, because of course they're going to talk and give their honest opinion. These people are no way protecting the company or trying to say anything that's they're telling the truth, and I think the truth sometimes gets stretched out, especially in the media, and especially with the video. If you see the video is kind of edited, and they only show you the worst parts, which is always like the best parts for them to show. If it changes you and it changes the way that you think about the production, I've seen pictures or videos of pigs getting slaughtered, and it's a lot worse. And they're stuck in a box and basically get electrocuted to death. Cows are the same. It's not a pretty thing, but people like meat, and people will continue buying and consuming meat. I mean, it's a protein, and people need it and stuff like that. We go back to the days that we don't know what our food looks like, and I guess this kind of opens and embodies that perception of what our food looks like before it's delivered to us. I mean, we see a cow, but we don't see what actually goes through it. Well, back in the days when we wanted meat, we would have to raise our meat, kill our meat, hang our meat, cure our meat, process the meat all by ourselves. And now with technology and everything else, we're given that benefit of not doing it anymore. Somebody else has to do it for us, and we don't know what the process goes through. So that's my thought. I mean, I'm not condoning what they did, and obviously they're going to get more fines and stuff like that, but at the same time, these people need their jobs, and I totally understand that. But basically, you have the right to say yes or no, and now that we know what there's going on, I hopefully the people that own it and everything else are more careful and do take consideration of what's going on. And that was the one thing they said, he thinks that they were blinded. They just see the volume, but they never see what it takes to get that volume. So I think it was more important for them to push and push and push and have these people pushing out the volume than the quality and the ethical things that were going on with the cows. Everything comes back to basically, the owners, and they should pay, and hopefully they comply. And I don't totally buy the USDA thing. I'm one of these conspiracists about Monsanto owning it, and they also care only about the production. They were there the whole time. They had 2 people who were working at that place, and nobody saw anything because they didn't take the time to get out of their cubicles and go around and see what was happening and stop that before it's happening. So who's to blame? The USDA and the owners. That's it. That's all I have to say. This is Hector from In the Mix of Chaos. Stay tuned. Tomorrow we're going to go ahead and be recording In the Clinch podcast. That one's all about John Bones Jones coming, pulling out of the 151. There is no more 51. It's going to go back to 152. It's going to 152. We talk about that on Monday. Me and George will go ahead and talk about steroid abuse. Now with the Lance Armstrong and all that, we're going to talk about the Olympics. You don't want to miss that one either. We're full cycle with this thing. We also have a special announcement coming on Monday that you don't want to miss. This is Hector from In the Mix of Chaos. Go ahead and watch In the Clinch. Go ahead and listen to In the Clinch. Go ahead and listen and watch Screaming Rebels podcast. We are on www.screamingrebelspodcast.tk. You can see all of this stuff that's going on. We also have merchandise if you guys are interested. It's on the website. Go ahead and let me know. There's an email address as well. We're selling shirts. It'll be the first generation. You don't want to miss that. We also can go ahead and contribute to the to the podcast or the productions, everything else that we can do to bring these shows to you. I thank everybody for watching. Good night and be safe. Bye.